preaching my prophecy. Stressing the city, the cops are topping me. The project is full of bullets, the bodies is dropping. They ain't no stopping me. Constantly moving while making millions. Witnessing killers, leaving dead bodies.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. I know there's been a lot of tag videos out there, and I think that's cool. I think some of them are repetitive. I kind of wanted to do one with, I think it will be a sort of new concept. And basically, I want certain reviewers out there to talk about their fragrance journey. And what I mean by that is how they started and where they sort of wound up. And I'll sort of give you a little bit of the way that I feel about my fragrance journey, a sort of little path through my journey, a little guided tour, and then I'll tag someone. Hopefully they'll tag someone else, and we can get a little thing going, just to sort of see where people started and where they wound up. Now, as I've mentioned many times before in my videos, my best friend in grammar school wore this fragrance by Christian Dior, called Fahrenheit. And when he wore it, I just remember coming into school one day and smelling him and just being like, I don't know what this guy's wearing, but I want to smell like him. And he told me what it is, and so I ran out and I got a bottle of Fahrenheit because I needed to smell like my best friend John. And that was in seventh grade, actually. I think I might have said 8th in the past, but I think it's 7th grade. And from there, I just started exploring other fragrances. We went on to gray flannel. I know a lot of people don't like gray flannel. I actually think it's a really nice scent. Back then, I think it was really cool, really good. It's a great lavender and violet fragrance. So that was also what I was wearing in grammar school. We wore a lot of this. This one, it was Dracar Noir by Guy Laroche. I still have a bottle. I actually still have a bottle of gray flannel. I just didn't pull it out for this. Beautiful sort of fougere fragrance with like white notes to this one. There's wonderful lavender in this one. There's galbanum. So Fahrenheit, gray flannel, Dracar. And then my mother actually took me to Bloomingdale's. And she was like, if you want to pick a fragrance, go pick one of your own. She kind of always inspired me to try to have a signature scent, which never worked out because there were so many different things I wanted to wear. But I just remember walking by the booth for Giorgio of Beverly Hills. And when you're like a 13-year-old kid, your sex drive is just starting to come in. And they had these red silk boxers for sale with this fragrance. And this one, I copped this because I wanted to reminisce on it. It was Red by Giorgio. It's an old school 80s powerhouse, but believe it or not, I was actually wearing this one in grammar school as well. And then right before I left, before I went to high school, I actually started wearing this. And this, of course, Davidoff Cool Water. And I didn't know anything about Green Irish Tweed. I think it was released a little bit before then, because we're talking about like 92, 93. But I love this. Everyone started to wear this once Cool Water got around. And I just love the smell of this freshness to it, this almost smell of countryside. So that was sort of like my grammar school, believe it or not, lineup. When I got to high school, I was sort of wearing 4 fragrances. I only have one of them, but I'll talk to you about all of them. The first one was this. When I was in high school, there was 3 brands of... Oh, actually, you know what? When I also have to say, when I was in grammar school, my father wore Polo Green. The original Polo. Actually, I think there was one before that, but that's sort of the first fragrance I ever wore was actually Polo Green. I would put some of his on even before Fahrenheit. When I got to high school, I was wearing 4 brands of clothes, really 3. Polo, Nautica, or Hilfiger. And then as I got older, North Face. But that was really it. So the original Nautica cologne, and this bottle is stupid old that I have, and it actually still smells good. I wore a lot of this. The original Nautica, my mother got me a sample set. This isn't that bottle from like 95 or whatever, but she got me a set with this and the aftershave balm. And this is a really cool, sort of very marine fragrance. So I wore this. I wore Hilfiger, which a girl who I dated in high school actually purchased for me. She got me a lot of fly shit. Hilfiger shirts. And she bought me Hilfiger cologne for my birthday or Christmas one year. I actually wore a fragrance by Coty called Gravity, which if I could find in a drugstore again, stupidly cheap, I would definitely buy for the wildlife factor, to sort of go back. But the fragrance, I actually don't have a bottle of that. Really, I think defined my high school years. Was Polo Sport by Ralph Lauren. I just remember wearing that and having every fly girl in my high school, come up to me and just be like, "Max, you smell amazing," and having every guy copy me. So that was just cool. And that was sort of what I wore through high school. It's really Nautica, Gravity, not all the time, Gravity on just some occasions. Really, it was Nautica, Hilfiger, and Polo Sport. Now, when I got to college, guys, it was about really 3 cents for me. And I only have a bottle of one of them again. It was about this guy, and this is a Womp Womp bottle, but L'Eau d'Issy. I wore a lot of L'Eau d'Issy when I went to college. I wore a lot of Le Mal by Jean-Paul Gaultier when I was in college, and I wore a lot of D&G Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme when I went to college. The original, obviously not the reformulation. I still need to get a bottle of the Made in Italy juice. Anyone has that in the low, hit me up, because I would like a bottle of that. But that's basically what my college career consisted of. It was L'Eau d'Issy, Le Male, and D&G Pour Homme. And I thought I knew everything about fragrances at that time. I thought there was nothing you could tell me. I didn't know anything about niche. Niche really wasn't exploding, though, at that time. There were a few houses, obviously, that had established themselves, but not too many. And it was really a designer world at that time. Then when I left college, I got a job in a real estate company. I started to make a lot of money really fast. And I think I've always told you guys the story of how I was going out with a woman, and I really loved this woman. I really thought this was going to be the one. I was ready to get a ring and get married and da-da-da. And it's a long story. If you guys want to hear it one day, maybe I can tell you the whole thing. But basically, it just ended on horrible terms. And I went through just a bad phase of life. That I think that happens to people, and it happened to me. And unfortunately, I found refuge in pills, painkillers, liquor, women I shouldn't have been with. I just sort of wilded out. I was doing shit you just wouldn't expect someone like me to do. And I'm not saying I'm someone super special, but I just remember there was a night when I was in the projects at 4 a.m. with just a stupid amount of cash, waiting for this Puerto Rican dude on a bike to meet me with 500 Vicodin. And I just remember being what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? And I finally got it together at that point. And then I just spent a lot of time doing healthy things. Maybe not the most healthy in terms of spending money, but healthier. And I started to do a lot of me stuff. And around that time, when I was before that incident occurred, I was big on Dior Homme. Dior Homme was what I was sort of wearing. Designer at that time, and the other designer fragrance I was definitely wearing was this guy, Prada Infusion Dome. Those were the designer fragrances I was wearing sort of during this period of the breakup and right after it. But then I started to really explore niche perfumery. I just started to try to get into the things that I thought would be really positive for me and just different, and just really treat myself to the best of the best. And that got me into niche. And the really first 2 niche fragrances I picked up, and I've said this time and time again, I still have original bottles of both, were Vetiver Extraordinaire by Frederic Malle. I don't have much left. And New Harlem by Bond Number 9. And my bottle here is sort of oxidized, which is weird. It's gotten brown, but the fragrance still smells amazing. This is an old bottle of this. And this sort of defined the late 20s, mid 20s era of my life. And then we come to now. I'm 37, and I'd say there's 4 fragrances that sort of define me now. So let's get into them. I think the first one, when I got into niche, I love niche, but I don't know that I found it took me a while to find ones that I really just felt comfortable wearing and that sort of defined me. And I would say the first one that did that is Jubilation 25 by Amawash. And I remember just people telling me in my office that I eventually, by the way, not to try to put a cap on this story quickly, but I got another job. I really climbed through the ranks very quickly. I was stupidly determined, and I became a marketing director, fairly quickly at one of the largest philanthropies in New York City. And I still work there to this day. We'll see how that goes. I mean, life can change on a dime, but it sort of renewed my purpose. And at that time, I was experimenting a lot with different niche fragrances, and so many people like this one, Jubilation 25, and so many people like this one, Sartorial, by Penhaligon's. And Sartorial was sort of the first fragrance that taught me that fragrances don't have to be just about notes. They can be about a place, a person, a thing. They can be conceptual. I didn't really get that before. I mean, I knew what New Harlem meant. I knew what Vetiver Extraordinaire meant. But when I learned that Sartorial was sort of the story of a tailor's workshop, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, you can make sense to represent places other than just the ocean, or like a beach or a mountain. And I remember it really shocking me and having a profound impact. And then when I got my hands on this guy from Nasamato, Black Afghano, and obviously this is a fragrance meant to smell like burning hash, then I was like, whoa, wow, you mean like fragrances can be illicit as well? You mean it doesn't have to be like in this buttoned up realm of conformity? Like, you can do crazy different things? And that's when I really started to fall in love with fragrance. I think Jubilation 25, I think Vetiver Extraordinaire and New Harlem put me on that path to see that fragrances were more than designer. Even though if designers were going to be really high quality and beautiful fragrances, there was just that next tier. And then Jubilation 25 really, and New Harlem really opened me up to the concept of like just unbelievable high quality, just the quality and the differentiating of notes and a different price point. And then Sartorial and Black Afghano explained to me the concept that fragrances can be conceptual, and that had a profound impact on me. And then the fourth one, the last one I want to talk to you guys about, and I'm not trying to shout my shit out because I've done it enough on my channel, was obviously Maxed Out. And this is the fragrance I'm most proud of. It's not the best fragrance, I think, in my collection or the best fragrance I smell, but it's the fragrance I'm obviously most proud of, and the fragrance that's had the most profound impact in my life, because it's a fragrance that I created in collaboration with just someone who I will never forget their generosity and their belief in me, Sarah McCartney. 4,160 Tuesdays, and obviously, she's the one that did this one, and we just tried to do a fragrance about my life, about the period in my life, really, where I lost my girlfriend, and I was just wilding out. And for 2 or 3 years, that was just so much fun. Like, I just felt free, and then it just got deadly to a point. And I think Sarah really understood the balance of, this is a fun scent, but there also should be a piece of this scent that's scary, because you could be living this lifestyle and just never wake up. And there were nights that I felt like I would never wake up. And to put that into a bottle is just, to me, unbelievable. And I think if you look at this journey and see how it started, where me just having fun in grammar school, and my best friend wearing Fahrenheit, me wanting to smell fly, to dress a certain way and to appeal to women, and then to get to the point where we're representing a scent that represented, or making a scent or manufacturing a scent that represented sort of a downfall in my life. Like, that to me is a fragrance journey, and that's really what I wanted to capture here for you guys. And I'm really excited to see, obviously, where this journey goes. Obviously, you guys know the next work I'll be doing is with House of Matriarch and Christy Michelle, who I think is also a genius, and I'm just so excited to present to you guys the work that we're doing. I think Man, I think it's going to really stir some shit up. I think you're going to see. I think it's going to have a really crazy impact on the fragrance community, the indie fragrance community, the niche fragrance community, and that's what I'm here to do. But I just wanted to give you guys a representation, and I also want to tag someone who also, a reviewer who I'm very curious about their fragrance journey, because I've seen this person sort of go from the sort of taste that I have, which was sort of a basic designer fragrance, into one of the most amazing, if not the best collection on YouTube. I think there's like 4 or 5 people I'd say have the best collections. And I'm not one of them, believe me. I think I have an okay collection, but there's some people out there on my friends and other reviewers that I just marvel at. And so I'd really like to see Ryan, just talk about his fragrance journey, where it started, and why it is where it is now. I'd really like to hear that, so I'm tagging you, Ryan. However you want to do this, whatever you want to do, doesn't have to be as in-depth as mine, doesn't have to be as long as mine, but just explain how you went to Aqua di Gio, to having the illest Raja Dove and Creed collections in the community. And not only that, what I really respect Ryan's collection is this dude will buy designer fragrances, but I love the fact that he goes out of his way to get original formulations and discontinued stuff. But what I also really love and respect about this guy is 2 things. One, he's one of the most generous people in this community, regardless. I mean, I could tell you stories where, like, there was a fragrance one time I was supposed to get sent to me, and I couldn't get it sent to me. The person backed out. He was like, I'll just give you a decant. I was like, nah, I just don't want you to do that. But, like, he volunteered to do that. Like, he's just really about spreading the culture. Like, this is a dude that just loves the art form, and he has the passion we all have. And so that's why I want to see his journey. He's just a great guy, and he doesn't let price deter him. Like, he doesn't care if a fragrance is $5,000 or $5. If it smells good and if it's interesting, he's going to invest in it, and he'll talk about it on his channel, and I have so much respect for that. So I'm tagging you. I hope you've enjoyed this concept. All my subscribers, and guys, lots more Scent Safari coming. I have so much more content, great content on this channel. I think you guys are really going to enjoy. Thank you for watching this video. Look forward to Ryan's, and I'll see you guys again real soon with more videos. Guys, you already know what it is. My name, Maximilian, and I must know.
Killers leaving dead bodies in the bed of buildings. Can't reach the children cause they're illin'. Addicted to killing and the appeal from the cap villain. Without feeling, but will they last or be blasted? Hard-headed bastard. Maybe you'll